Good morning, myself Professor Saxena, a stress guru from India. In today's class, we will discuss on the main functions of dopamine. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter that is responsible for feelings of pleasure and reward. It is often associated with activities that give us a sense of accomplishment, such as achieving a goal or completing a task. Dopamine is also released during activities that we find enjoyable, such as eating our favorite foods or engaging in social activities. Dopamine is often referred to as the feel-good neurotransmitter, but it is important to note that its role is more complex than simply causing pleasure. Dopamine is also involved in learning, attention, and decision-making, and its dysregulation has been linked to a range of mental health disorders, including addiction, depression, and schizophrenia. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter in the brain that plays a vital role in various physiological and psychological functions. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a key role in several important functions in the brain and body. Its main function is to act as a chemical messenger in the brain that helps to regulate movement, motivation, and pleasure. Here are 10 main functions of dopamine. 1. Reward and motivation. Dopamine is involved in the brain's reward system and is released when we experience pleasurable or rewarding stimuli, such as food, sex, or drugs. This dopamine release reinforces the behavior and motivates us to repeat it. Dopamine plays a key role in the brain's reward system by producing feelings of pleasure and reinforcing behavior that leads to reward. It is involved in motivation, goal-directed behavior, and the anticipation of rewards. 2. Movement and coordination. Dopamine is involved in controlling movement and coordination. Dopamine helps to control and coordinate movement in the body by sending signals to the motor system. A lack of dopamine can cause movement disorders such as Parkinson's disease. 3. Attention and focus. Dopamine helps regulate attention and focus, and a deficit can lead to symptoms of ADHD. 4. Mood regulation. Dopamine plays a role in regulating mood, and low levels of dopamine have been linked to depression. Dopamine is involved in regulating mood and emotions. Low levels of dopamine have been linked to depression, while high levels of dopamine are associated with euphoria and mania. 5. Learning and memory. Dopamine is involved in the brain's reward-based learning system, and it helps us remember experiences that were pleasurable or rewarding. Dopamine plays a role in attention and learning by enhancing the processing of information in the brain. 6. Addiction. Dopamine is involved in the development of addiction. Drugs such as cocaine and methamphetamine increase dopamine levels, which can lead to addiction. 7. Stress response. Dopamine plays a role in the brain's stress response system and can help regulate the body's response to stress. 8. Sleep regulation. Dopamine is involved in regulating sleep and wakefulness, and a lack of dopamine can lead to sleep disorders such as insomnia. 9. Sexual behavior. Dopamine is involved in the brain's sexual response system and plays a role in sexual desire and arousal. 10. Hormone regulation. Dopamine is involved in regulating the release of various hormones in the body, including prolactin, which is involved in milk production and breastfeeding. Now that's enough for today's class. Thank you.